Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I am Chip.
And I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Once again. Or for the very first time.
Well, the numbers don't lie, Cerny. People are coming by the dozens to listen.
By the dozens.
By the dozens to listen.
So before it was by the singles. Now it's by the dozens. So we're growing.
We're growing.
Exponentially.
Exponential growth.
Now there's still room for aggressive expansion, but
like a hockey stick. Up and to the right. But if you have been sharing with your friends or you have not, now's a good time to start doing that. But if you have, thank you. And if you want a sticker or any other, I think we have merchandise still somewhere.
Just if you want to at least ask, email us at chipandcernshow@gmail.com. We will answer probably within the minute.
Yeah.
Because it is still pretty quiet. So actually, maybe a couple minutes because Chip and I will first have to discuss who is trolling us.
Yeah.
Either Dana or Joe. But then after we kind of done some sleuthing and figured out that maybe it is a real fan, we will get back to you.
And it's happened once or twice. Anyway, we recently served up. Chip and Cern took a little vacation. One summer episode off, and we threw up a classic, a Chip and Cern Show classics.
Yes.
And I think that's something we're going to do more often, just the whole classic episodes as opposed to the hits with all the different things that we may or may not think are funny because, you know, we put out 52 episodes a year. That's true. Cern and I will be talking, oh, that was a really good episode, and I'll go back and look, and it was 6 months ago or something, and it's like, wow. And this episode that we recently released was from 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was
almost.
I think it's like 2017. I think you're right.
At now my former job,
yes,
there was the Potty email that a vice president sent out to the entire company about some water wiggling at the urinal. So
some
it was. I mean, it was. I listened to the episode again because I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up before we start repumping everything through the pipes, but. I had some laughs, and I highly recommend listening to that one.
Yes, that is a good one.
First, because this episode is actually a follow-up to
the sequel.
The sequel, or the shitquill, as we'll like to say. So I don't work at this place anymore, but we have a person on the inside, a deep throat, if you will.
Or Huggy Bear.
A Huggy Bear. Or
an informant.
An informant, confidential, obviously.
Yes.
And I heard about this, and this popped into the old Chip and Cern Show inbox. That flag went up. You've got mail.
Yeah. And then it was titled Shit Show, so I thought, oh, someone's fucking talking some shit. Someone says we suck, which is fine. At least they interact with us.
So we have another.
But nay, it was an informant.
It was our informant has provided us with another.
Oh, speaking of which, before we get into it, this beer you brought over.
Cerny.
Sorry.
It is. Thank you for stopping me because this is from Adobe Creek Brewing over in Nevada, another new brewery. They're a microbrewery. AdobeCreekBrewing.com. This is what was the name? Hold on. I'm going to roll over.
He's rolling over. He's going to check it out. I could tell you right now, it's hazy.
It's a hazy IPA because Cern and I and Dana and Joe were all talking about how into the hazies we are. This is Terp Sauce.
Terp Sauce.
Terp Sauce IPA comes in at 6.6 ABVs.
Which isn't terrible.
No.
Which I like it that way.
Yeah.
When you start getting into the 9s and 10s and 8, it's like, ooh, boy. What was he saying? What did he drink, like an 8-8 or something like that? He had a 4-pack, 4 pints. And he was one-eyeing it to the toilet.
Yeah, he said he woke up in the morning and he didn't know what was going on in his life.
But it is very refreshing. And
nice citrus hops. Let's get a...
Sure the fans love that one.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I mean, I got a growler, and it won't last long.
No.
I mean, this is delightful. So if you're in the Novato area or Marin County, go check out Adobe Creek.
Or if you're cruising
Blu-ray.
through, yeah. Just
Yeah. They have a cool setup. They have like they're
if you're there by chance, do say that you heard it on
Oh
Chip
my
and Stern
God.
show, and you're
and they'll
checking
be
them
like,
out.
Who?
He's like, oh, you better check them out
Oh yeah,
because they're doing free plugs. They're doing
Plugola on the house.
they're doing charity work for you.
Yeah, they're doing the Lord's work for you. At least you can swing them a lid or a T-shirt or something. But they have a cool
Maybe another growler.
they have like a garage door that they sort of open up with these cool benches and
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
we were in
Knee
there.
Deep does something like that over here.
Yeah,
I think so.
We'll bleep that out in the when we send the promo cut over to them.
I think. Anyway,
So Adobe Creek Brewing in Novato, check it out. Highly recommend the Terp sauce. They're an owl. Their logo's like an owl with antlers. It's kind of cool.
Oh, almost like the jackalope or the.
Yeah, and they have this crazy cool owl that someone like spray painted on there. Super fucking complete. I should have taken a picture of it. It's really cool.
Oh, like tagged it, but it was like about artwork.
Yeah, like they commissioned this wall of their thing, and then they have a beer called Al Capone.
Oh,
Woohoo! Hoo-hoo! Your
check
way
that
over to Adobe Creek. All right.
okay.
Free plug over.
All right, back to the
shit email. So, Cerny, would you say I can easily let things go, or do they kind of like linger around? Like if I'm really sunk my teeth into something?
If you sunk your teeth into it, it lingers.
Okay.
But if everything else is kind of like
Whatever.
Yeah.
Unless
Unless
my wife would agree with
unless it's Stat Boy.
you.
He gets under your
That's-
skin.
he does.
He could say, "How you doing, Chip?" And you, "Fuck you."
Oh, God damn it, Dana. So this was never a case closed. When I was investigating it at my previous job with the guacamole thefts, there's a couple episodes you can go through about all the drama that was happening.
You were sleuthing pretty good on that one.
I was. So the pissing around, we had
Tracy.
suspects. Dick Tracy, or I went by Cock Tracy in the office. But
okay.
all right. So we'll read this verbatim
It's this email is important
in all caps.
in all caps. Theft and vandalism in our office.
Is the title case how you would? I mean, I'm not a English teacher or anything, but anyway.
I don't. You know what? I'm
I'm
for
not
me,
good.
when I send out emails, I've been known to just write what I want in the subject.
Oh boy, Cerny.
Like, because I'm like, I don't want to fucking type this out. If I'm sending out to like a team,
Yeah.
then I'll make sure it's
The email it's going to is team at the company name. Like everybody is on this one.
Yeah, so I wouldn't just do that, but
This is a multi-part one, and it starts with it was sent on at 3:00, so in the afternoon
3
on a
p.m.
Thursday.
Oh,
Team, we have written about these issues in the past, hoping that the issues would abate. Oh, somebody's using a thesaurus.
oh, yeah.
But instead, we have seen an escalation, and deem it necessary to address these problems head on, as they are toxic and
Hold on.
antithetical.
Yeah, there you go. Antithetical, whatever. It is. Okay.
Antithetical to our culture, as well as poses a health risk.
So let's break this down. First off,
That's a run-on sentence right there.
yeah, if you're gonna use words like that, you better use your commas.
Well, yeah, use your commas, and I mean, you're not sending this out to professors at Harvard. I mean, there's some laymen, some simpletons.
Yeah. So
Like let's
and realistically, no one's impressed by your word. I mean, you probably just wrote something in there, and you could just right click.
Yeah, thesaurus.
Thesaurus,
Antithetical.
Oh, okay, let's do that. Abate. Oh, this guy is.
Or was he trying to say anti-ethical? Because I see. But is that ethics? That's how you spell ethics, right?
Now I'm gonna Google search this fucking word.
Okay, so Cerny's gonna Google search antithetical. Anyway, first, that's a one sentence. It's like 3 lines of the
antithetical. Yeah. Directly opposed or contrast, mutually incompatible. Well, we did.
Yeah, they could just say and against our culture.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to anyway? First,
Are toxic and unnecessary.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
First, I want to confront the issue of vandalism In the past, it was my impression that we only had an issue with carelessness in the men's bathroom. Please refer to the Chip Potty bathroom email episode of the Chip and Cern Show.
There was a pee-pee monster.
But it's come to my attention that recently there is much more than that. Without going into overly graphic descriptions, the problem relates to intentional defecation outside of the toilets and urinals.
Oh man!
This amounts to vandalism and also poses a health risk to bathroom users, not to mention unfair to our dedicated custodial staff who have to clean this up. This situation cannot be tolerated.
Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Okay. So when I see
defecation
outside the urinal, it reminds me of that scene from Kingpin. You ever seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie.
Oh man!
Is that a Jeff Daniels?
No, he was. No, that's Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson and
Woody Harrelson. That's right.
I think it's who's that crazy motherfucker from Christmas Vacation?
Chevy Chase,
no.
Or the brother?
Uncle Eddie.
Randy
Eddie. Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
But let me take a look first while you do that.
So while you're doing that, I have additional details. That are what we might say overly graphic descriptions.
Okay.
So from my understanding, there was feces / poop / defecation material smeared under handles and around handles of the door.
That's not just like a...
I think it's an attack. And I guess somebody dutied just like in the main area. So he's pooping in the
urinal because he's Amish, so he doesn't know better, so he thinks it's a...
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's a bit funny.
That pops in my head.
So, okay. So this is one part of the email, the pooping around. Now,
but smearing underneath the handles, that's more than just that's malicious.
This might come across as overly sympathetic. But I could see a situation where if you were having an actual bowel emergency, that you could not make it to the toilet. I understand that, and I would sympathize with said person.
Yeah. You know those where you're trying to like, I can hold it, and then it's like, no, this is coming.
Having been in the position myself, I sympathize.
Food poisoning or something, you're like, oh my God, it's coming.
That food poisoning episode I had, that I started showing symptoms at your party. I didn't get food poisoning at your party.
Was that last year?
That was like 2 years ago,
I
think.
I think you're right. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I had a couple close calls on that one. But anyway.
Some photo
But if you're rubbing it around, first of all, you putting a glove on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you go to the doctor. You rip off the doctor of his rubber gloves first.
Now this was also thrown out as a theory because obviously I was curious.
Okay.
A parent who would have access to diapers with duty already in them potentially.
Okay.
Now, what sort of injustice?
Yeah, I was saying, why are you so angry?
Would be served against you that you would do this? That's my question.
It's emotion.
Or do you have? Or you maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is my sort of working theory is like maybe a lower paid employee that they feel they're dealing with a lot of shit because at the same time, there's like layoffs and stuff and people are probably getting more work but less, they're not getting paid anymore and not getting promoted. So
skeleton crew.
So do we think maybe this is a retaliation for, your performance review came in, hey, we can't give you a raise, but Bob and Susan quit, so we actually need you to pick up their workload. And this person's like, I fucking had enough of this. I'm going to bring a duty diaper in.
Which is interesting because this almost would be like something like, I would think like someone would do this like on their last day, like I'm going to just shit up the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
And then I quit, by the way.
And then there was a couple...
They continuously do it.
So now do you think this person was the same careless pisser with the water wiggle?
I'm going to just say yes. Unless it's the...
I don't know. They didn't specify which bathroom this is, but I would assume it's in the men's bathroom.
So yeah, especially since he opened up with the past. So I'm going to assume yes.
Okay. The suspect is the same.
It's like you hear about those serial killers where they don't start killing at first. They
just skin the cats.
Or they do something and then they got to up the ante.
Oh.
Because the rush isn't there anymore. So
they're not as satisfied with pissing on the top of the urinal or in the corner.
There you go. Yeah.
They now start defecating around.
And then after that, start smearing it. What's next?
I don't know what's next. Like, how do you raise the bar on this?
I don't know.
I mean, unless you put a pack of raccoons in the bathroom, and you just shut. Now, also, when is this happening? Is this person coming in really early, staying really late?
True. Does he have a pattern? He or she? Do they have a pattern?
Or is it a woman doing it in the men's bathroom to frame?
That could be. Although, yeah, that could be.
No, I would say. Wait, do you think this email came out the same day?
Probably of the last incident, I would assume he probably said, "God,
so
fuck."
Maybe in the morning everyone came and then this was happening.
Yeah, so someone probably told the VP here, and he probably sent out an email on the same day of the last instance. I'm assuming it's the.
So you're coming into work early. Like, let's say you would have to come in at 6 to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Fuck up the bathroom, and then you're the only one in the office, and then someone goes in and is like, "What the hell?" You're like, "Oh, I don't know. I just
shut up."
Yeah. Or do you just leave? Or you do it on the weekend if this is a Monday or something?
Oh, it's got to sit all week. Oh, that'd be even worse.
What if you came in, did it, and pieced and no one would really know, but you did badge in, badge out, but you wouldn't be there at work?
Did you have badges?
Yeah. So they could pull those records, I'm sure.
That's true.
And see, but, I think you'd be hard-pressed to really get, unless there was a DASI level guilt. Why am I, when you admit something? Why am I, when you're being interrogated, the result?
I'm throwing a blank too. I don't know. I'm not following you.
I'm interrogating you.
Okay.
And you admit it. What's that called? Not a plea.
Oh. Damn it. No.
Why? Hold on. So, unless you have a confession.
Confession. There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Fuck,
man.
God, I'm gonna have to edit those last 5 minutes as we work.
Especially your wife.
As we work.
What?
How did you not know what that word? I knew what it was because I made a callback to Making a Murder.
There you go. Oh.
Unless you had a confession. I mean, what are you going to say? Hey, you were here from 6 and you left at 7, but then you were on PTO that day, and then poop happened in the bathroom? Like, what's going on? Like, we know you did it. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think if something like that, how I would do it is then possibly...
How you would prosecute this, or how you would do the duty smearing?
I'd prosecute this. Maybe keep an eye. And if you have, and then it happens again, but you basically know it is, you ring them up on something else.
Oh, they're on the hot seat already.
Hot seat, just,
yeah.
And then you got something okay, this is I'm out of my. Instead of maybe you ring them up and it's and by the way, as your cherry on top.
Yeah. We saw you're off on Friday. You didn't submit your PTO 2 weeks ahead of time, so we're gonna have to let you go.
We're gonna let you go. And by the way, we also follow. And we also know we didn't follow you.
Yeah.
But,
we think that you were the duty.
Because if you ring them up on that, then they can possibly
Right.
You were following me in the bathroom.
It's flimsy.
Doing that shit. But if you get them on something else and then throw that on top as your ace in the hole.
A lot of from my understanding with the other detectives I've been working with on this case. Some of the primary suspects of the first Potty email have left the company.
Oh.
So the plot thickens. Because they're like, well, I thought it was, so-and-so, but they left 2 months ago. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
So that's one issue, which is one whole podcast.
That was the first.
So if you want the pretext to that paragraph, listen to the Chips Work Potty email show that we just released a week or two ago.
Now, secondly, this is a different podcast.
This is another one called the guacamole
Guac-gate
incident,
or something
the
like that.
Guac-gate. There
Yeah,
you go. Now I'm gonna have to get back in my CEO voice. Hold on.
Oh, he's clearing his throat. Okay.
Secondly, we have a longer-standing issue with theft of food from our kitchen. Despite appeals to stop this behavior, it has only gotten worse and also needs to be addressed. One thing that makes blank, company name, so special is our sense of community and moral support. When a very small minority, well, now I'm singling out minorities, of our community violates these principles, it is incumbent on the management team to address these issues for the good of us all. So noble.
Oh, wow.
As such, wow, that's what a pompous.
Yeah, it's pompous.
As such, I have decided to install surveillance cameras, which I will say Chip fucking recommended 2 years ago.
During Guac-gate.
How much is a Nest? You can get one for fucking $50. Plug it in, stick it in there, and say, "Hey, there's a camera up. So if you're stealing food, we're gonna find out who you are."
There's this great website called Amazon.
Yeah.
Actually, they got at the time
Prime
of this
Day's
recording,
coming
that
up.
Prime Day coming up in the near future, so you can probably swing a good deal on some cameras. Anyway,
So they have surveillance cameras in ordinance with workplace laws and regulations in places that will allow us to determine who may be committing these acts should they persist. Woo, and then a threat. Trust me, this is not something that I decide to do lightly, and want to reinforce that the only manner in which the equipment will be used would be identify the individual (S) individuals that are abusing our office and community. I will add that in the event that we do apprehend anyone committing these acts, he/she will be disciplined with the bare bottom spanking. Oh, I'm sorry. An ordinance with our HR workplace guidelines inclusive of dismissal.
Inclusive. Oh.
If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact your manager or HR and myself.
And if you have any questions or concerns, you are on the hot seat.
Oh,
You will be
CEO/director.
Wow.
Okay.
That is.
Well, first of all, the food thing. I feel that that's someone just fucking with the company.
Yeah.
Or it's you know how some people just can't help themselves if something's free? Like old
Yes,
people at the
yes.
fucking cheese sample place at Costco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. You know what? You're right. I never even
You go
looked
by-
at the demographic, but now I'm looking at it in my head. It's always like the
Just
old people.
because it's free, they have to take as much as they possibly can.
And sit there and fucking throw bows over a free piece of what? A quarter
Patch
slice
chili
of fucking,
cheddar.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, come
of
on.
one fucking pop chip
Is
salt
it-
and vinegar.
Yeah, is it really that important? I mean, what the fuck?
So I think that potentially could be the thing that it's some people like this is free, and it's some deep instinct that they have about like self-preservation.
They're like rats.
You know, I would say it's safe to say people are making a somewhat livable wage at this company. It's in the Bay Area. Even if you're the lowest rung on the totem pole, are we allowed to use that phrase anymore? Probably not.
But it's okay.
It's all right. You know what it
We don't
mean.
have we don't judge here.
Yeah.
Use whatever you want.
If you're the lowest rung on the ladder,
Actually,
now
we
we're
do
singling
judge,
out
right?
firefighters. You don't need to steal. I don't think stealing some guacamole packets is going to get you by. So I think it's
It's more of like a
I don't. Yeah, I
like the poop thing. Ooh, maybe it's the same person.
that would be something.
Oh man, that'd be a fucking.
Oh,
bad,
do you
that
think
is
they're
a-
washing their hands?
That
in
is a
between?
psychopath.
I need to know when this happens. I mean, this news hopefully spreads like wildfire because.
Huggy Bear. If there's any updates,
Okay. Caw-caw, caw-caw.
send it to us.
We'll be at the third bench.
Now,
in
do you
Union
have
Square.
office etiquette for your refrigerator?
At work?
Yeah.
My new one?
Yes. I mean, obviously here it's not, but anyway.
So, yeah, my new, well, now not really new, been there a year and a half almost.
Wow.
Each floor has their own fully stocked. I mean, we're talking when you see the memes on whatever about like Google having crazy things. Like we have that to that sort of level of food, like
Okay.
energy drinks, fresh squeezed juices, coconut water, sparkling water. Like literally, you come in every morning, it's fucking flush to the doors. Someone comes in and restocks that.
Oh.
And then they have all these snacks, a cereal, Cliff Bars, all fucking flush.
Wow.
Literally, they told us, they're like, if you needed to take a tea or an energy drink, like on your walk to the bus, or you give one to your Uber driver that picks you up, go for it. Like,
wow.
I think it's easier for them just to not even have to stress about, I saw Cerny take 2 and put it in his backpack. Yeah. And like, if you just say it's kind of free game and everyone, and I have found myself, because it's so readily available, like I almost just don't care about taking one or whatever.
It's not taboo.
Yeah. There's like, the stigma of, and at,
like we're talking about with the Poop Bandit and obviously the Food Bandit, it's a little bit of a thrill.
Right, because it's, Tuesdays, the Costco delivery comes in, and we only get 25 yogurts. And literally, they like put them in the fridge, and people will go and take like 6 so they can have their breakfast, I think, for the lunch. And then it's like all the food is pretty much like gone on that one day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's the problem that they're coming with here. So... I mean, this is now, I'm starting to appreciate this company more and more as they're providing us so much content over the years.
Yes.
4-6 episodes worth. If you have any theories.
Gift keeps on giving.
Yes. If you have any theories about, do you think the poop person and the guacamole, the food person, are the same?
Let us know. chipandcernshow@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Or you can reach out to us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Twitter.
Yes.
Just search Chip and Cern Show. You can either send it to us publicly or you can DM it, slide in our DMs, and we will most definitely respond.
Yes, and as you see, we do respect
privacy. Because Huggy Bear is anonymous, and so is this company. Yeah. So we say, hey, I don't want my name out there. No problem. Actually, we probably just won't say it unless you say.
Right. We will err on the side of privacy.
Yes, privacy.
And if you would like to show your support for the Chip and Cern Show, which some of you are, yes. And we appreciate that, you can always leave a rating on iTunes or Google Play, wherever you are listening to this. We have merch, chipandcernshow.com/shop, and then we also have teespring.com.
Yes.
And just search Chip and Cern Show there.
And then also tell a friend.
Yeah, like Cerny said.
Or enemy.
Tell a friend, enemy. And if you want to be really cool, you could tweet Adobe Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And say, hey, I heard about Chip and Cern Show drinking your beers. They loved it. I can't wait to try.
There you go. That'd be cool.
Well, until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.